Hello and welcome to Heart Shaped Boxer podcast. We're now on episode 24, and we have joining us celebrating the release of their new album, Dawn Chorus, Dan and Tom from Blank Atlas. I don't know why I stumbled then. How you doing, lads? You okay?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. You had a busy, you've had a busy few weeks, really, haven't you? Because you just ended your tour.
We did, yeah. Good run.
Yeah, released the album a couple of weeks ago, and ever since then we've been kind of doing lots of gigs. We played like Cardiff, Cheltenham, Glasgow, Newcastle, Leeds, Bristol, Plymouth, and then so it's going to be it's been a bit manic.
I'd imagine.
It all went well.
All the gigs, I don't think any of the gigs have been bad.
That's good.
So that's
makes
good.
A change. Makes a change.
You love a gig where it's not bad.
Exactly.
We love that.
Have you had a good reception then from the crowds?
Yeah. People are coming down, knowing the words. It's just come out. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's got to a point where people that we don't know turn up to the gigs. We don't know who they are, but they know the words, and that's good.
Very strange, but very nice.
Usually we just know everyone in the crowd. It's like, oh, that's my mate. That's my mate Clive
from work. That's my mate. That's from work.
I don't know anyone called Clive.
I know.
But he was there.
But so how's the new album gone down with the crowd as well? Because I take it you've done some gigs with the work before and that, but or is this complete?
Sorry, we've been a band for ages, so yeah.
12 years we've been a band for.
Yeah,
the Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been playing the new songs, and they've all been going well. It's really nice to see what songs people like, and so that we know which ones to add to the set list.
Yeah, I've been surprised by like some of the songs on the album that people say that they're their favorite. Like some deep cuts. I was like, oh, I didn't expect everyone to like really like this song. They're all good. Like that in my opinion, the album is all killing no filler. But there's some songs people really like. I'm like, wow, that's good that people like the deep cuts. So I like the deep cuts. Yeah. And some people have been saying like their album of the year already. So that's
that's crazy.
It's high praise. And I like that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of unexpected the amount of love that you can get from it, but it's been nice, really nice.
Yeah. What's been the one song that surprised you the most then that you've kind of thought was one of the quieter songs on the album, but the crowd have really taken to?
Well, I think quite a universal song that everyone loves is a song called Problems.
Okay.
Just like
which nearly didn't make the album.
Which we didn't put on the album because it's a kind of sticks out quite a lot on the album. It's quite different. It's quite a pop punky sort of vibey song. And we thought maybe we should save that and maybe just release it as like a little standalone type thing, but we thought whack it on the album. But everyone really likes that one. So I think that song is here to stay.
Yeah. And people are liking a song called Surrender as well.
Well, Surrender is our favourite. So
people come up to me the other day saying they love Surrender.
There you go. Well,
and that's like a really experimental, like electronic song that we chucked on because we just all loved it for. Well, yeah, it's our album. We're going to put on whatever song we want.
That's my favourite. Equally hoping people like that one.
They do. I've heard it from names.
There
you go. With regards to the kind of like the album and the touring side of it, then what's been kind of like the most exciting part of it for you?
I think like just doing the gigs and seeing people sing along, and like seeing like progress and like how many people are listening to us. Like it seems like there's a lot more people listening to us now compared to like a year ago, which is kind of weird.
Literally, our monthlies have gone up like by times 10 since last year.
Great.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know the amount of people that are listening to us. Like I only know like 10 people, so I don't know who the other people are. So,
yeah, we just started doing gigs. We played Glasgow for the first time, which was really cool. And the people came down in Glasgow to see us, which is crazy because it's so far away.
It seems like another.
It seems like we just know no one.
Where are you guys based then?
Bristol.
Based in Bristol. Yeah.
So
yeah. Quite a drive to Glasgow. It was a 6-hour drive, which was a long one.
It actually was fine, man. It's quite nice. We're quite excited to go there. So
yeah, so kind of zoomed by.
Yeah.
You keep yourselves entertained though, don't you, during the rides? We've
right.
seen your guff casts.
Yeah, it's starting to get. We joke that our guff cast is more popular than our actual music. But yeah, guff cast is where we just We do a little podcast on the way to gigs where we just reminisce about the old days, talk about funny things.
With
just
all the
to pass
shit gigs
time.
we've done, which is a lot of.
Yeah, we started playing gigs together when we were like 15, so we've done a lot of shocker gigs in our time. So
Yeah.
we've got lots to talk about.
Good part of the time, really.
Yeah.
That's why I was driving for that long, because we literally just did a Guff cast for like ages.
But also, the only reason why it's in the car is because our bassist, Chrissy, he's really hard to tie down. So he's already in the car. So that's the only time we can do it with him.
I
But
guarantee he's going to
that's-
be there.
yeah,
That's why he's not here today.
yeah,
Okay.
that kind of ended up being the sort of like vibe. That's the format of the podcast, is that it's in the car. But it was never meant to be that way. But I kind of like it like that way.
Whose brainchild was it? Was it kind of like a, well, we ask each other stupid questions anyway, so let's just roll with it and make it a bit of a.
Well, actually, we did when we were like really, really young. We decided we wanted to do a podcast. Because that's what you do when you're young. So I want to do it. And it was called the Guffcast. So when we were 15, we did this thing called the Guffcast, and it was like this like little thing.
It was just
me and Chrissy talking rubbish.
Yeah, I was.
And then Thomas was like, "Oh, I really want to do the Guffcast again." And then here's his idea to start it up again.
I wanted to start it up again, and you two weren't too sure. Like the first one that we ever did, you can kind of tell that
We're not very sure.
that you're not really sure. Like especially with Chrissy. Chrissy's like just
Yeah.
chatting, and then the next one that we filmed, he's like, "Hello, welcome to the gut." Like, it's like, oh, this is good. But I think I had to win him over. But everyone else likes it.
Yeah, I like doing it now. It's pretty good. I enjoy doing it.
I love it. I love stuff like that though, because I don't know if you've heard of a podcast called Have a Word. It's a Liverpool comedian, Adam Rowe, and a couple of his mates, and they just do it, and it's literally just lads just talking crap.
Yeah.
And it's just that kind of, and I quite like the fact that you use kind of just random stuff. Like there was one with what was your favorite service station, and it's just like, it's what you just talk about, isn't it, when you're traveling or you're doing something, between you as mates, and just silly things that come out. So I quite like that. It's quite natural.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
definitely.
just recording our normal banter.
Yeah.
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 Did- Do you find that social media is quite important then? Because I know that you obviously do these and you do other videos, like with everyone who follows you kind of knows. There's the character that turns up quite a lot, Kenny, as
Kenny,
well. So you obviously,
yeah.
you obviously like that kind of personal touch to enter the band. So do you feel that that's quite important over social media?
Yeah, I quite like it when bands say stuff like that, to be honest.
It's good to be relatable, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to seem like you feel like you're rock stars, you do what you want.
So I feel like with a band our size, if you're like trying to pretend that you're like, oh, big hard man rock star, like all like mystique and elusive, it starts to get a bit cringy. It's a fine line between cringe and not cringe. Yeah. But I don't want it to be cringe. But I feel like, it's cool. Like, and it's quite, our granddad is like a bit of a character anyway, so I thought that'd be a really funny bit of content. Just get him to listen, because he doesn't know how to work the internet. So there's literally no way he could ever find any of our stuff. So him listening to that
it was actually the first time we listened to
the
it.
first time we'd ever listened to any of us or any of the songs off the album.
Whatever, probably. You probably never listened to any of us.
Yeah. Well, yeah, properly with headphones. Yeah, definitely. So it was really funny to see his reaction.
But he loves it. He says that people stop him on the street saying, "Oh, I saw you on Facebook."
Yeah,
He people like follow our mum on Facebook or something. She shared it or whatever.
Kenny Boy loves the attention.
He loves it. He's a damn thing.
Yeah, I like the one where he's telling the story of how his friend Kev, he looked on the internet and seen you.
Yeah. What did he say? Oh, we're very well known.
Yeah, we're very well known. He's been on the internet.
He likes that sort of thing.
Yeah. Whatever that means. I'm pretty sure that this guy on the phone was just making it up just to make him happy.
Yeah, well, because there's another story where Kenny Boy once walked down the centre of like the local town, and he saw someone who he thought was Chrissy Boy, the bassist of our band. Mm-hmm. It wasn't him, but and he had a child with him, and our Chrissy does not have a child. So he went up to this guy who we thought was our bassist, like, "Oh my God, Chris, you've not seen you so long. What a lovely child you have." And the guy was like, "Oh yeah,
go along with it,"
pretending that he knew this man. So I think He gets that a lot, I think.
Yeah. You would if Kenny talks to you about something, you just go along with it, even if it wasn't true.
Yeah, he's quite. Yeah, he's a good character. Easy to talk to.
Is he quite inspirational on your Choose career then, really? What's his kind of like music background? What kind of music do you listen to?
I think he's pretty typical.
I'll tell you what though, we used to do in the car. We used to listen to a lot of Westlife in the car. And we fucking love Westlife. We lap it up.
I think he might be the reason why we like pop, really poppy stuff, like quite guilty pleasure sort of stuff. Like we love Westlife because of him. And we used to like when we were younger, we used to like put like the McFly DVD on or the Take That DVD on. And we used to like we like to play through the set in front of my nan and granddad.
And it was like, yeah, cool.
We'd be Take That for the night, and we'd run off, do the little outfit change, come back on again.
They put a lot of shit.
We put them through a lot, that's for sure.
We used to watch us play with tissue in their ears.
Yeah.
Will he ever come in and do a little collab with you on stage then at some point?
Yeah, if he can make it on the stage, I don't know if he can lift his legs that high and go up the stage.
He's got a bit of a poorly leg, so I don't know. We have to wheel him on.
We have to carry him on.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool if we could feature him in an actual song, like just.
We didn't even sense like a narrative thing.
Just get a little sample and mess with it, and then people who know will know
for the next album.
Yeah, for the next album.
What idea?
Like the sound of that.
We'll take that idea.
Why not?
Let's go back to the beginning then. So, where did Blank Atlas start?
Around the year it was 2011.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
A long time ago. We were in school in West Wales. Obviously, me and Daniel have been playing together.
So we're in the womb together.
Yeah, we're twin brothers. Who didn't know? We're twin brothers. So we, around like a few years, when we were like 10 or 11, we like started learning instruments, and I gravitated towards drums, and he gravitated towards the guitar.
Yeah,
and then
we can't play the same thing.
Can't play the same thing, definitely not. And then we would play together, do little riffs and stuff. We had a little school band before this one, which was all right, but the bassist was I think.
He wasn't the best.
The best bass
He wasn't the best with timing.
No,
or playing the right notes.
He had good showmanship.
He did. He looked cool, and he looked like a rock star.
I think he
didn't play that one.
He didn't play that one. Yeah,
he was a bit like Sid Vicious. He looked cool, but he couldn't really play bass at all.
But then we met Chrissy at the comprehensive school, high school, and we invited him around for a little jam, and we were shocked. Like,
no way, this guy's playing the same notes as me at the same time.
Yeah,
he's tuned.
We couldn't believe that we found someone that could actually play the bass guitar
in our hometown, which is like so small. West Wales, we're from. Yeah. There's literally like maybe 1,000 people in our school. Yeah. About 30 people in a year, maybe.
Yeah, so we started playing like Iron Maiden covers with him.
Avenged
Sevenfold. That sort of like era of like rock and stuff. Yeah, and so the first evolution of this band was kind of like that, quite metally.
That lasted for a few years,
and then we kind of started evolving. And it didn't start evolving until we like found like more like underground bands. Like we found a band called Prestamico, who do a similar sort of thing to us, like the harmonies and like loads of vocals and poppy vocals and stuff like that. And I for one definitely fell in love with that band. So there was a point in time where we were basically just a Prestamico tribute band, and our songs sounded like very similar. And then we went away with that, and now we've kind of
got our own sort of sound,
got our own little thing going on. And I think it's a good little evolution. And because of Prestamico, we found all the other small bands,
Arcane Roots,
Black Peaks, Reuben, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think that sort of helped us evolve.
Yeah, before we moved to Bristol, so changing.
Yeah, we all moved to Bristol for uni in like 2014.
And that's when we found all the good bands.
Yeah, because we realised we couldn't be in a band and live in like middle of nowhere in West Wales, where we'd only play with the same 3 bands everywhere. It was like everywhere we go, we just played with the same 3 bands
in the same town.
So we thought we've got to do something about this. We've got to get out of it. Yeah. So that's why we went to Bristol, and we've been in Bristol ever since then. And now we're here.
Now we've got an album
talking to you with an album out.
How do you develop from putting shows on of Westlife and Take That to the sound that you've got now?
Well, I don't know. We like loads of stuff. Really, like, I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I fucking love everything. I'll listen to Ariana Grande's new album, and then I'll listen to fucking Tesseract's new album. Don't care. But yeah, we just love everything. That's probably why we got the sound that we have, is because we all love really, really poppy stuff.
Yeah,
we also love really, really heavy stuff.
We like to say in our bio that we're for fans of McFly and Meshuggah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
The halfway point between them two,
Yeah,
is
so
probably where we sit.
If you like a bit of those two bands, you probably would like our band.
Maybe.
Yeah, we've got like.
If you like both of those bands,
if you like both of those bands, you probably would like some of our songs.
Yeah, maybe.
Definitely.
McFly and Busted get so much crap from kind of rock bands because they're not they were perceived as this kind of pop act, but they probably made so many young lads pick up instruments and influence so many people without really realizing, and they don't get the credit that they deserve sometimes on that kind of front.
Yeah, they're definitely a gateway band.
They definitely made us play guitar.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
We were playing guitar before that, but then when we saw them, they were playing guitars and they were young. We thought, oh, we could do that as well.
Yeah, well, I
we pretended to be them.
Yeah, I feel like people around our age were kind of there.
Yeah, anyone our age, if you ask them, did you like Busted on the Fly Back in the Day? They probably would say
if
yes.
they're a musician and they're kind of our sort of age, they probably will listen to Busted and McFly back in the day.
Yeah.
And like, you know, when they played Slam Dunk like 2 years ago,
everyone loved it.
Everyone was loving it because all the people that are our age all go to Slam Dunk and they were all listening to Busted and McFly back in the day.
Yeah. Well, they said it was one of their best things they've ever done.
Yeah. But yeah, I think
they're more of a rowdy crowd rather than like the mums or the people who were, I don't know, 15 when they first came out.
McFly and Busted are generally good bands. They all write their own songs. So I don't think it's anything.
No,
I like it.
So if you were going to describe your sound for new listeners, what would you describe it as?
We always say alt rock, just as the generic. Because it's not rock and it's not metal. It's sort of in between.
But yeah, if you like poppy choruses and heavy riffs, I think you probably would like it.
Yeah.
Heavy riffs, poppy vocals, and like lots of harmonies.
Yeah.
Or if you like bands like Biffy Clyro and
Arcane Roots
and bands like that.
Ruben, I guess.
Ruben, Jamie Lemon. I think you might like a song. At least one song.
Yeah. It'd be something. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be something. Yeah. I feel like our songs are quite a range of different like sort of styles. Like we've been getting the reviews back for the album, and a lot of people are saying like the songs are really sporadic and like it changes song to song like quite a lot.
Yeah, I quite like that though.
Yeah, so I feel like there's quite a range of things that people could listen to. So I think that is a bit for everyone.
Yeah, well, I still want to do that anyway, because if you don't put a ballad on your first album, then you might not be able to do ballad ever.
Yeah, you gotta,
because if you just do really heavy songs, and then the next time you release a few ballads, they go, what the fuck is this? But if it's already on the first album, they would expect it.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm glad
we started strong.
Yeah. It's all about having, because you've definitely got throughout that album your sound though. So yes, they do change, but you can see that all the songs are linked to the same band. If you went away and came back, you'd certainly know it was one of your tracks.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
That's good. So let's go to the album itself and Dawn Chorus. Tell us about that kind of thing. What's the kind of story behind it? Is it the process behind it?
Well, we decided at the end of 2020, near the end of 2020, we decided we should just do an album, because we've been a band for over 10 years. We might as well make an album. We might never make an album if we just don't do it now, because we were waiting to see if like a label would ask us to do an album or something like that. We just thought, let's just do an album, fund ourselves, see how it goes.
And it was lockdown. We didn't have anything else to do.
Yeah. So in lockdown, we decided to write. So we did loads of writing for the whole of end of 2020 and half of 2021. And then we started recording it at the end of 2021. That took about a year. We did it in blocks.
Yeah, we didn't finish it until May 2022. No, 2023. May 2020.
No,
No.
May 2022.
I don't know what year it is. May 2022,
We're on
yeah.
2023 now, so
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we didn't just finish it because it's been out for about 2 weeks.
Yeah, so we've been sitting on the album for over a year, basically.
okay.
The finished version of the album. But yeah, I quite enjoyed writing the album because it was kind of the first time we ever like all wrote in the room as well. Like before we had Daniel would come forward with a whole like a finished song pretty much, or Chrissy would come forward with a finished song, and then that would pretty much be it. We
Yeah.
kind of like change little intricacies, but that would kind of be it. But this time we'd like sat in a room with like our laptops open, and we like all chipped in and did little bits. We did like a little melody shootout on all like choruses.
Yeah,
and
I would
stuff like
say
that.
nearly every single song that we all contribute to the melody, or we all wrote a section of each song.
Yeah.
There was not many songs that we wrote that was written just all the way through and ended up how it is. I mean,
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. So I've had a lot more input than I usually do because usually I don't really write a lot.
you even wrote a full song.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And yeah, this album's the first time that I've got a song that I wrote
More or less all the way.
pretty much the whole thing. Like the last song on the album is something that I wrote.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, apart from the end section where it goes all epic, rocky at the end.
That was our idea.
Chrissy, that was Chrissy's idea. Before it kind of just ended really kind of like soft and sad. She's like, I will just do an epic ending. It's the end of the album. Like, yeah, all right.
So what made you do the whole song then? What was the thought behind it?
Well, I did that song not thinking it would be a Black Atlas song, to be fair. So I like to write little songs, but like ever so often, if I write a good one, I'll just show the others. But normally it's not really the vibe of the band. So I didn't really expect it to be a Black Atlas song at all, really. But then the others wanted it to be a Black Atlas song.
Yeah,
Like,
we said
bloody
it should be on the album straight away. Like that's going to be on the album. Last
Yeah.
song. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that was one of the first songs. So that made, because that song was on the album, we could do whatever then. There's all these synthesizers on it, vocoders. So we could have, that made us want to put lots of stuff on the album.
We
We went all out. We put all the textures and
set the tones.
synths. From before, it would just be like guitar, bass, and drums and vocals, and that's it.
Yeah.
It was good. It's a good song.
So when you guys sit down and do a song, do you have the instruments and you kind of plucking away and then you kind of put the words to it, or have you already kind of got the lyrics in place before you do the music?
The lyrics are usually right at the end.
Okay.
It depends. Well, some songs like "This Mountain," I wrote the chorus of that in the shower with the word "Midland."
Oh, really?
So that, well, usually it is. Oh, I've got a good riff. I like this riff, so I'm going to try and write a chorus for this riff or a verse for this riff, and then that comes. But it's usually always there's got to be a good chorus with a good melody.
Yeah.
It's very, very rare that we have a chorus with no melody.
What the Eat Thy Neighbor chorus was a bit tricky at
That
times.
was quite hard to get.
There's quite a few different choruses for Eat Thy Neighbor.
But apart from that every song had a chorus, but we're just gobbledygook, just like notes, no words at all.
Yeah, usually we sing it phonetically, so it's kind of nonsense, and then we've got to try and fit words. Sometimes there's a couple words in there
That
that
we
you can
always
kind of
say.
make out. So then Chrissy writes all the lyrics because he's good with his words.
Yeah, I'm not very good at words.
So he's usually got to try and make sense of these like random words dotted around in this song. Like
Yeah.
we've got a song called Connections before the album came out, and the chorus is I want you to know on over the.
And that's all I had. I wanted
Yeah.
to know.
Daniel-
You had to find out what I wanted them to
So
know.
Chrissy had to figure out, what do we
what do we want them to know?
what does he want them to know?
Apparently, it's connections.
Yeah, so there you go.
He somehow figured out a meaning for that song.
Yeah. So yeah, props to Chrissy boy.
Props to Chrissy Boy for sorting out my nonsense.
Yeah.
We did the best ever song make the cut with the fact of the Star Wars and Sugar Rush song that he wrote.
Laser,
That is a banger, to be fair.
you're referring to Laser Blade, which Chrissy wrote that in 2012. So that song's 11 years old.
Yeah.
So if it made the album, it would have been a long time coming. That's for sure. If It's a bit. I think that would kind of stick out quite a lot. To be fair,
Maybe
a bit. Yeah, it is a good one,
it is a absolute bang,
It's got a
absolute
good-
rager.
and it's already got a music video as well. So you
Yeah.
know, we're gonna have to do that again. Yeah, that is.
What do you usually use as the kind of subject matter behind the songs, or is it just literally just things that come to your head in the time?
Yeah, it's usually whatever is. Well, it is usually we do the melodies and then we say words all the time when we do the melodies, and then now we figure out, oh, so what if it's like, I don't know, this mountain, the chorus of that. But all the words were there, but we just didn't know what it was about really.
Yeah, because like this mountain is, it's kind of like relationshipy. So you can tell by the chorus that Daniel wrote that kind of set the tone for the whole song. To kind of get an idea of what he's talking about, so Chrissy could like
Makes sense.
make sense of that in the verses and stuff. But then it's like, but it kind of could be literally be anything. Like there's some of the songs I'm not even sure what they're about,
Yeah,
but they're good.
they're usually quite sad though. We don't write any happy songs,
Yeah, it's usually quite sad boy vibes.
but that's fine. People like sad songs.
Yeah, I feel like
Sad songs are always the best songs.
Definitely, yeah.
It's very hard to write a happy song.
it tugs on your heartstrings. you're doing the right thing.
That's right.
So your first single was released back in April of 2016, Lost at Sea.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Okay. How do you feel that your sound has developed since that song to Dawn Chorus?
I would say massively.
I think back in April 2016, I think we were still in our we're kind of
Figuring out.
we're figuring out, we're kind of a bit too like leaning into doing whatever our favorite bands are doing. We were just trying to like write the same songs that they kind of do. So yeah, we weren't really like unique.
No. Literally in those days, after every single gig we would do, they'd be like, have you heard a band called Costa Rica? We're like, yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah, I think we've changed loads. It was more of a bit of it was sort of pop punky-ish, more like just generic rock. It sounded a bit like Lower Than Atlantis or Don Brokers, like that. Those sort of bands we liked at the time. Yeah, I don't mind that era. I was nearly trying to. I said maybe we should delete it off our Spotify before releasing the album.
yeah, because some of the songs off that EP is a bit questionable.
And one song on the EP is actually really old. It's like 2013.
Oh yeah, there's a song off the first EP called Liar's Eyes, which was from the original like sort of evolution. Where we used to be called Avarice. It's a bit of a stupid name for a band, to be honest.
And there's also 15 other bands called that.
And yeah, there's also a million other bands called Avarice. So it wasn't a good idea. So that is a song called Liar's Eyes, which we used to play back in the day when we were in West Wales, playing our gigs with that three bands that we were talking about earlier. We used to play that song. So yeah, that kind of made its way over the Blank Atlas EP, the first one. Well, yeah, that one made it through. But yeah, it's kind of weird that a song that old people can listen to.
Listen to now.
It's a bit scary.
That's why I said maybe we should delete it.
Yeah.
But
I'm always interested in this point is, would you now go back 7 years and re-record that today
no,
the way you want it to be done? Or would you just leave it in the past and delete it?
I would definitely leave it in the past or delete it.
Yeah.
Because I don't unless there's loads of songs on this album that we've had in the band for ages. Like there's some like choruses that I recorded on my phone that I didn't do anything with until we had all that time lockdown. I went through all my recordings on my phone to see if I had any gems. But the things that are already out, I would not go back to.
No. Yeah.
Because it's hard. Because also when it's out, you play it over and over and over and over again at gigs, and it's just like you can't see any other way.
Yeah.
But if it's something that you've not listened to in years and you've not ever played together, then it's quite easy just to like reshuffle it and like put that and put that in.
Yeah, I'd be quite happy to forget that the songs from 2016 ever existed.
Yeah, so would I. I don't think that many people listen to them, so you probably could get away with just getting off.
Yeah. But there's like from like 2017 onwards, I feel like our input has been pretty decent.
Yeah, we released that EP called Canvas. I'm happy with that EP. That's more our sound.
that's quite consistent to what we sound like now, other than it doesn't really have loads of textures that we have now. That's kind of how it's kind of evolved, but the majority of those songs kind of sound pretty similar to what we sound like now.
We'd even play some of those songs now.
Yeah, those songs every now and then make their way into a set.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard now that we've got an album out, because
we only really play half an hour sets. We're supporting someone, or
we've got 12 new songs that we could play, so the older songs kind of get forgotten a bit.
Yeah, and the connections, and I Feel Great, that came out in lockdown, so we've not really had that much time to play those songs either. So we don't really want to get rid of them either. So they're quite new to us still.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You touched briefly there on COVID and lockdown and stuff. Obviously, you have the kind of you have the best thing about the fact that you're twins, you brothers, and the fact that Chris has been with you for so long from high school. How did you find though navigating COVID? Was it tough to keep the band together still, because it's hard to gig?
It kind of put pause on the band.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought we were on the verge of breaking up.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I thought I'm gonna get a message anytime now, being like, don't want to do anymore. Let's not bother. But instead, I got a message saying, let's do an album. There we go. Let's
kind of the
go.
opposite of what you thought was gonna happen.
Yeah, but I'm glad we didn't break up. But I can't see us breaking up anytime now.
Yeah, it was very frustrating because literally just before lockdown,
we were going to Scotland.
We had our first ever Scottish tour.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were supposed to do loads of cool dates dotted around the UK, and we had 2 songs recorded with both that had music videos.
So we recorded the music videos for those the day before lockdown.
Yeah, and then we're like, oh bloody hell, we're gonna have to release these songs in lockdown.
Or release them after it's all happened, but we decided let's just release them during lockdown.
Yeah.
So
after we released those, we only had 2 songs in the bank. So after we released those 2 songs, we're like, oh, we've got nothing to do now. We've got no gigs to do. So what we're supposed to do? So it was kind of like radio silence for quite a while, and at least for a good year, we probably didn't post anything.
Yeah, I think some people thought we were not even the band anymore. But actually, we were writing before we were.
Yeah, we were doing something, but it was behind the scenes. Yeah. But ever since 2020, 21, 22, it started getting a bit more busier.
But I was quite a fan of lockdown. I quite like lockdown.
Yeah, you were loving it. You were at home every day.
I work in a restaurant, so I didn't work for about 9 months.
I was the same. I was in hospitality, so yeah, it was lovely to have a break.
Yeah, I was living the fucking best life. I was getting paid to be off for 9 months, which is great. Which I know some people didn't get to, and I feel for them. But I was having a great time. But I didn't actually write that much in lockdown, to be fair.
Yeah, you would think that you'd have loads of
yeah, I've heard lots of stories of some people have been writing loads, and they've written several albums. But some people, I know that Ralph Shikari, he couldn't write a single thing until he did a gig. And that down the pilot thing. And then that's how he wrote the whole of the new album. But yeah, I was sort of the same. I couldn't even write anything really. Apart from maybe 2 or 3 songs I got on the album. Yeah.
It was weird, wasn't it?
It was weird.
It was weird.
We were mainly just going through the archive,
and
try and find bits of the songs that we had that we could go into new songs.
Yeah,
that's how it really made the album, really.
Yeah, there's loads of songs that we had saved. We can't really put this on an EP or a single because it's a bit of a deep cut, so we're save it for the album. There are loads of songs like that we would use. There's a song called West Park, which has been knocking around for a really long time. And we had kind of saved that for such a long time. So that's cool that we finally been able to release those ones.
Yeah, it'd be a bit weird to have it on EP where it's this 5-minute song that's quite chilled and it's not really, there's not really a lot of chorus.
No, usually you want an EP to be all bangers, really. Yeah. It's cool we get to do the deep cuts. Yeah, I love a deep cut.
Was there a moment during COVID and lockdown that you thought, will we ever gig again, or not as just you as a band, but just the world, because it was so crazy?
Yeah, I maybe thought about it a little bit. Thought, well, this has gone a long time. And then when we got out of lockdown in the summer of 2020, briefly, and then oh, it was fun. I've gone back to work, but we're not on our gig still. But then there's another lockdown which lasted longer. And I was like, oh gosh. Yeah, but I did think of what's it going to be like. It was very strange going to a gig again after like 2020 and late 2021. It was a bit strange. And then we all just got coronavirus because we were going to gigs.
Yeah, it was weird. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what to think.
But I'm glad it's all right now.
Yeah,
It was weird at that time though when we went back because like you just said about restaurants and that restaurant I was working in, we did that dine out scheme that they invented, the half price or something like that dine out thing that to encourage people to go back to hospitality. So the restaurant I worked in were putting in more tables where we were supposed to be segregating people, and we're like, no, let's put more tables in so we can get busier. It's like, but then we still couldn't gig and we still couldn't do other stuff.
Yeah, that was literally horrible. I used to call it hell on earth. When we used to be that, it was like on Monday to Wednesday or something. Wasn't it?
That was it, yeah.
Half price. And it literally would just be so busy. It'd be so hot.
Yeah.
And then one time it was like a bank holiday Monday, and I was like, and it was literally absolutely terrible.
carnage.
Yeah.
It was like people had forgotten there'd been like this virus that had been floating around just a week before, that we had to we were fighting over toilet paper, but then now we're fighting over who can get a table at the restaurant.
Yeah. It was good.
It was nice.
Glad it's not a thing anymore.
But now we're gigging anyway, and you've just finished your tour.
Yeah.
You're quite, obviously we've talked about the guff cast and that. You're quite playful. You like the thing. Sure, there's been some antics on the tour. Has there been any good stories to tell us?
Let's see. I don't know, nothing I can think of.
Well, this tour, we're just like, our car is just full of like leftover rider. So there's just like loads of like bottles and beer and stuff in the car. It's not really.
Well, I bought a can of cider, blew it from the merch.
Yeah,
bag, but that wasn't great.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's the danger. If promoters start offering us free stuff, we're like, oh, we'll just take it home with us, and then we just got so much stuff.
Yeah, I've got a sort of funny story.
Oh, go on.
So when we played our gig in where was it? Leeds. We were loading out, and this young girl, because the pub we played was on a pub crawl. It's called. I can't remember. The Otley Run is what it's called.
The Otley Run,
and it's the 8th stop on the pub crawl.
so you know.
So there's people coming up. There's actually 2 stories to this thing. There's this really, really drunk guy, middle-aged man. He didn't know anything about rock. And he came up and he was like, he said he's bragging about, oh, he's got no more money than sense, is what he said. I was like, oh, okay, got it. And then he said, and then Chrissy said to him, well, I dare you to come into the thing, I dare you. It's like, oh, come into, yeah. And I got I charged him like £2 extra to get in.
Whoa.
And then because he's drunk. Didn't know, he had more money than sense. And then he came in, watched maybe one song, and walked out, and then gave Chrissy his untouched pint, and then it went.
The best £10 you've ever spent, probably.
Yeah, but on the way out, this girl, uni, I'm guessing, came up to me and was like, have you got a tissue? Have you got a tissue? Have you got a tissue? And I was like, no, I ain't got a tissue. But why would I have a tissue? And I walked past and I literally saw this girl spewing her brains out, literally a lake of sick. And this girl wanted a tissue. I was like, you want a tissue, mate? You want a bucket? So it is projectile. I was like, wow. But yeah, that's probably that's the thing I remember the most from the tour.
Really?
I've never seen them at sick in my life, to be fair.
Really?
I felt so sorry for the pub.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was bad.
Well, to be fair, it was the 8th stop on this like crawl. So
It's just like people. It was some guy when we were playing. There's 2 people in Spider-Man costumes came in.
yeah,
It was like
I fancy dress.
so strange.
It was weird. Wow.
Where was the best place you played?
We had a good hometown gig in Bristol. That
Oh
was
yeah,
good.
the hometown gig in Bristol was probably the best.
And to be fair, when we played in Plymouth with Jamie Lemon, that was very good as well.
Yeah, that was a full room for Jamie. That was
Full
really
room,
good.
and there was lots of people that came down to see us. It was like, it's nice when you look out into the crowd and see loads of people wearing your t-shirt.
Especially when you're supporting someone,
Yeah.
because then the people around them are like, who's the supporting band?
Makes
Why
you seem-
why are they singing along? And why do they have all the merch?
Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
I think it went
And-
down really well.
Yeah, and Jamie Lemon said that we sound like the Bee Gees. The Bee Gees.
And he said it sounds like they have 7 lungs.
Yeah, so I guess that's a
Whatever that means.
So I guess that means he likes it. I don't know if he likes the Bee Gees.
Have you ever been described as the Bee Gees before?
We haven't actually. If I
Well, no, we
if I-
haven't.
But yeah, I'll take it. BB's have got some bangers,
They do.
so I'll take it.
Yeah, thanks, Jamie.
What's the plan for touring in the future? Have you got anything lined up now, or is it a bit of a break?
Nothing until towards the end. We've got some stuff in September that are going to be announced.
Okay.
We're going to be playing some more places that we've never played before.
Different country.
Do it a different country somewhere. We've got to hop on a ferry.
Yeah.
So you can guess what it is. But yeah, that'll be fun. And then
got a little run with another band we're organising.
yeah, so yeah, September is going to be a bit more busy. Hopefully,
But summer's pretty quiet.
yeah, hopefully some maybe sneaker festival in here and there if we're lucky.
Sneaker support slot somewhere.
Sneak a little support slot every now and then. But yeah, then next year we're going to do a lot more gigs and stuff as well.
Yeah.
So we're just playing it by ear.
Yeah.
Winging it.
You've just brought out the album, so it's quite early to talk about what's next for the music side of it. But
Yeah.
is there another album's worth of tracks ready to go, or
You know, we've made a start to it.
Yeah, me and Chris had a writing session a couple months ago, and that went really well.
Yeah, I actually really like the songs that you did then. I think that's a good little
Start
start.
on the next album.
That's the tone for the next one, I think, and I like the vibe.
Yeah, the vibe's good. But yeah, we've got a couple of songs that might make us figure out the vibe of the album, but we're not really started yet. So
Yeah.
we are gonna. I'm starting to think about maybe we should try and do some writing sessions soon,
Yeah,
just so maybe not another album, but maybe just so we can just release something. Otherwise, we're not release something because I can't imagine we could release an album next year because it would take us ages to and fund it.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna release something next year. I don't know what.
that's something we'll do this summer. Is write a bunch of songs and figure out what the next album's going to sound like, or the next couple of songs that we're going to release and sound like.
Yeah,
that'll be us, I reckon.
Yes.
Yeah.
what would be the point for you guys where you go, yeah, we made it?
I don't know. Well, if I can quit all my jobs, then that'd be good.
Yeah, quit. Get to see music full time, or like
Just I would like if probably the one that made me feel like we made it is if we like support one of our favorite bands.
yeah, playing with your favorite
Or
bands.
go on tour with our favorite band. If we went on tour with like a band like Enter Shikari or something like that, that would be really cool. And I would feel like a proper band.
Or getting to play overseas in like the US.
If we did an American tour,
that would be cool. But yeah, we've already managed to play with one of our favourite bands. Like we played with Preston Miko, and that Preston Miko were our favourite bands.
yeah, we played Holy Absence there, one of our favorite bands.
Yeah, we love Holding Out since we played with them. It'd be nice to go on like a nice cool tour, like where we're playing somewhere new and exciting.
Yeah, and be able to headline at like a decent capacity venue in London. That would feel like we've made it. If we headline like Shepherd's Bush, then I would be like, yeah, we've made it.
Shepherd's Bush.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's like a decent sized venue that you'd have to be some sort of like
You have to be at a level.
to headline Shepherd's Bush one. Yeah,
That would be cool.
but we're happy. We're just going with it. Anything that comes to us, we'll be grateful for. Really good.
What's the kind of the scene kind of like in Bristol at the moment then for you guys? Is there many emerging bands that are coming up with you?
Yeah, there's a lot of cool little bands in Bristol, to be fair. Like, there's a band called Super Love that are doing quite well at the minute. They're from Bristol. They went to the same uni as us.
Want to play with them on the 1st of June?
Yeah, we're gonna be playing with them in a couple of weeks. So that's cool to see bands, like people in bands that we know that are doing really well. So Harriet from
Yeah.
Bristol, they're doing really well at the minute. So yeah, I feel like there's loads of like little underground bands that are starting to emerge into like the actual.
Yeah, I
You
can't
can
think
see.
of anyone else, but those two bands are probably doing the best.
And obviously you've had in the last 10 years you've had Idols and all that there from Bristol. And that was a weird one because some of Idols used to work
At our uni.
at our uni.
Okay.
He's the guy I used to see in my lectures. Now he's playing Glastonbury. That's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah,
At least to help us reverse out of parking spaces.
Yeah.
We need to rehearse in the same place.
we used to rehearse in the same place, and the singer Joe Talbot used to like help me reverse out.
Really?
It was quite.
We did try to do a UE in like a really tight spot.
I was doing like an 11-point turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see his patience wearing thin. I was like, I don't want to make this guy angry.
Yeah. Very funny. Yeah, the scene is really good in Bristol. I
Yeah.
can't live anywhere else.
No.
Maybe London would be the only place we'd move to, but it's just too expensive. But Bristol is really good. The thing is great, and that is because there's 2000 Trees Festival and Up Pendley Festival, which is booked here. So
Yeah.
it's really
That's
good.
really rose in kind of popularity in the last few years, really, because it was a festival I'd never really heard of till I think last year,
Oh, really?
and it just seems to be getting bigger. Like the lineup this year is quite big as well.
Yeah, we love 2000 Trees. It's probably our favourite festival.
Yeah, we've been there a bunch of times.
We go every year.
It's kind of seemed like it's gonna end up being on the same sort of level as like festivals like Slam Dunk. I feel like it'd be like one of those sort of tier festivals eventually.
Well, they don't even get that big because they've got the feel that they're always in.
Yeah, but yeah, they've not really expanded the site much, so it's kind of the same as it's always been, but it's just more and more people going.
Yeah, which is nice because it's really good.
Is it just the one stage then from the, or have they got multiple stages?
They've got loads of stages. They've got a forest stage, which is in like a forest.
All right.
It'll be like acoustic sessions, or some of their smaller bands will play there. They've got about, I think they've got about 5 stages,
Yeah, 4 or 5
5 or
stages.
6 stages. It's really good.
Excellent.
I'd recommend.
Loads of my favorite bands play. Even it's like usually that festival is, I'm more excited for the smaller bands that are playing rather than the headliners.
Yeah.
Don't hate me, but I don't really like the headliners aren't as good as I hoped. But all the smaller bands, I'm very well excited for.
It's all
Which
about
I think-
it's all about the smaller bands.
The up and coming bands.
They always book all the good like scene bands. That's
Yeah.
cool.
I think I said the same thing about Download. 'Cause, with Download Festival, you've got quite a few emerging bands that are on the stages, the lower stages, that I'm more excited to go and see.
Yeah.
We've had like Rituals on here. Then on the Thursday night, they've got like what they call takeover at Download, and all 5 bands are just ones that have like amazing. So the newer bands are really starting to emerge now.
Yeah, it's all about the emerging bands.
Yeah.
Cool to see.
We've only been to Download once in our life. When we went, we didn't think we like took advantage of that at all. We just like were at the main stage all weekend.
Yeah,
But
we didn't
looking
really do it that well, did we?
Looking back at it now, if we look at the lineup, there's so many good bands that were playing the small stages that were like picking ourselves that we didn't go and see. Like
Yeah, even if Preston Miko played the year that we went
Preston Miko played
on
that
the
year.
smallest stage, and we didn't go see them
We didn't see
because
it.
we didn't know who they are. But if we went to go see them, we would have maybe been better and quicker.
Yeah. And also Falling with Sal, which is Holding Absence, basically. Most of the members of Holding Absence were in a band called Falling with Sal, and they played that year.
Yeah,
We didn't get to see them.
It's hard to try and manage your time though when you want to see certain bands, and
that's the time when you're like, oh, if I want a good spot in this band, I need to stay here.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be there the band before at least.
So now it's quite easy. We're just all standing like in the middle. I don't need to be on the barrier,
Yeah.
especially in a place called Download. It would literally just be uncomfortable.
I'm quite happy seeing bits of sets these days.
Yeah,
I'll just run between stages and see bits of sets.
yeah. I feel like it's better festivals.
Yeah.
okay, so we're coming to the final kind of part of the podcast, which we call the up close and personal kind of side of it, which is aimed at you two. We'll start off with a very, very easy question, which is, if you managed to find yourselves on death row, what would your death row dinner be?
We have to say like start a main and
Yeah, no, whatever you like, but I kind of see death row. It was only recently that someone had said to me the death row kind of thing is supposed to be start and main and thing, but I've always taken death row as it's whatever you want because it's your final meal, isn't it? So if you want to say whatever it's fine by me.
I would say, if I would say my favorite food, I probably would just say a curry, like a really nice Rogan Josh.
really.
Yeah, I always say that a curry is always nice. I never would say no to a curry. Especially from like a takeaway curry. A Rogan Josh, rice, and a Peshwari naan, and a full fat Coke, and a cup of tea. Poppadom? And a poppadom. And then for dessert, I'll have sticky toffee pudding in custard.
Nice.
Well, if I had that on a day, I'd be like, this is a fucking good day. Especially if it's my last day. What are you, Thomas?
I think I would have a nice big fat roast dinner. I think, yeah, with all the trimmings, with the big fat Yorkshire pud, cauliflower cheese, definitely, all the stuff, and with I want to have a cocktail as well. I'd have a cocktail. I would have I don't know what I think I'd have
Mojito?
a mojito. Yeah, a mojito. I would have a mojito. I love a mojito. And for pudding, I have apple crumble and ice cream. I think.
Very
And
nice.
that would I'd feel satisfied after that. I'm like, yeah, okay, give it to me.
Oh, fair enough.
Give me the injection.
Give me the death.
If you were only allowed to listen to one artist for the rest of your life, who would it be?
I'd probably say right now. I'd probably say Big Tyrone because they've got loads of albums, and they've got really heavy songs. They've got really slow and ballad songs. They've got everything. They've got such lots of different types of songs that I wouldn't get bored. Yeah, it's mainly because they have so many albums,
Yeah.
and they got all the B-side albums as well. So that's like loads of songs to go through.
It's a lot of stuff to delve into. I don't know what I would choose. I think I would choose something like well, I think the Beatles would be a good one. But a band that I do like the Beatles. I wouldn't put them as my favorite, but I do really like the Beatles. And it's got such a wide range of different songs that they have. So it kind of like a song for every mood that you could have.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Beatles are good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say the Beatles.
They are good.
In their short space of time that they had, they kind of went across all the genres, didn't they, at some point?
Yeah.
Except for heavy metal. I don't think they ever did that, really.
Hunter Skelter was pretty heavy. So that would satisfy that itch for me. Yeah. Well, I do like Foo Fighters as well. Yeah, sorry. I'm thinking about it too much.
I think I said in the end with Dave Grohl because then I could get Nirvana, Foo Fighters.
Songwriter.
Yeah, take the actual person because the question was the artist, wasn't it? So you could take the person.
You just pick Paul McCartney and you could
So,
Yeah, if I pick Paul McCartney, then I that would properly give me a lot of things to listen to.
because he's got fucking absolutely loads of albums.
Yeah.
Quite pretty shit, but there's definitely some good ones in there.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I would say Simon Neil then,
But he's,
because he's got some songs we've on different people's albums, like Norman Villa was on his first song. That's really good thing. And Empire State Bastard. Yeah, the new band. Their album's pretty good. Yeah, I'll say Simon Neil instead of the band.
right, yeah, I'm gonna change mine to Paul McCartney then.
Paul McCartney. Fair enough. If you could get one artist to collab with Blank Atlas, who would it be?
It probably would be Rao Reynolds.
Yeah, Rao.
Because if we were to say a collective favorite band, it would be Inspiring.
Mhm.
That's what we all went to all their gigs together when we were younger, and at one point they were all our favorite bands. They're up there now, but that's the common ground with us. We all love Inspiring.
It'd be cool to co-write a song with him and see what sort of like production bits you could add to it. And like, yeah, I think it'd be cool. I think whatever we work on together would be a cool little thing. Yeah. Rao, right, definitely Rao.
All for one.
Or from McCartney.
What is the ultimate flavour in crisps?
Wow. I would say, I don't know, I would just say cheese. I love a What's-It. A What's-It is probably my go-to crisp usually.
A cheese crisp.
Like a cheese Dorito.
Yeah.
Or cheese and onion. But I don't really get for cheese and onion. Usually I do What's-It.
Yeah. I probably more lean towards that as well. I do like a barbecue or stuff like that. But I think you're right. I think a cheesy crisp
Always good.
will always win.
Always good.
Yeah. There's so much you could do with it.
True.
You've got a festival in your back garden. Who would you have as the free headliner acts?
Dead or alive or alive?
Alive.
Alive, right? Okay. And can this no budget? The festival can be any size, or is it like a big?
Yeah, no budget. It's your back garden. You can have whoever you want.
I have my own festival, but okay.
Right.
So I'm gonna pick. Do they have to be together?
The band.
Oh no, yeah. As long as they're alive, so it could happen.
I'm gonna
I
pick.
took the dead one away because a lot of people used to say dead acts, and it would just be kind of like I've never seen them before, so you'd constantly get the same
Yeah.
bands.
Together, I would say Ruben. I would really, really like to see Ruben.
Yeah.
I probably would say McFly for the nostalgia, and then I would say, Black Peaks. I would get them back together. That's one of my favorites.
This is quite a small festival. Then.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Well, it is in your back garden, to be fair, so it's good.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That's just who I want to see.
I think I would choose. I choose Preston Miko, but they've got to play their first album in full. They're doing their self-titled album playthrough, and no, they got to play the first album and the EP before that in full, and that's their set, because that's like they give me the most nostalgic vibes. I'd also choose. I'd Reform Take That, full five members.
All five.
All five members.
I'm actually wearing a Take That t-shirt right now. I forgot.
Oh yeah, he's actually wearing a Take That shirt. Yeah,
There you go.
there you go. Oh, also, I'm gonna reunite One Direction,
Wow, you're going full cheese.
and also because they all have to do like 20-minute solo sets as well, and then they do One Direction set
That's
at
the
the
big
end
finale.
over like 2.5 hours. Yeah, that would be good. There you go.
Is that more of a money spinner for you thinking about how much money I can make in my back garden, or is that
It's just my enjoyment.
just your job?
That's what I would enjoy the most.
We listened to One Direction in the car yesterday.
Yeah, on the way down to our gig in Plymouth with Jamie Lemon, I literally only listened to One Direction on the way down. And I had the time of my life.
Yeah, we did. They played our favorite One Direction songs.
Yeah.
Final question is one that we kind of I kept as a constant throughout the podcast, to create a vault called a heart-shaped box vault, where we can put songs in there that's going to be kept for future generations. However, the last couple of weeks I've mixed it up because I've put a theme on it rather than what would likely be your favorite song. So your theme this week is after I heard a cover version of Bohemian Rhapsody by a band called Chugaboom just recently, and it was brilliant. So what is the best cover song that you think should go into this vault?
Cover song.
Top of my head, I'm going to pick Arcane Roots to the cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit, which was really, really good. Doesn't sound nothing like Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Who is that? Sorry.
Arcane Roots did a cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit, and they kind of just changed the whole song. It starts like ding 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 ding, and then it all goes a bit mad.
It goes like really angular riff and like not 4/4.
It goes very Arcane Roots.
Yeah, which I like.
I'll have a look out for that one. I've not heard that one.
It was very, very good. It's like a Kerrang, Nevermind.
It was on like a Kerrang compilation. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would choose. Lost Alone did a good cover of that Christmas song.
Oh, Christmas song.
Yeah. Lost Alone on Christmas. That's a good one.
Fair.
I like that
I
one.
thought you were going to say like Nirvana or something.
Nirvana?
Nirvana Soul the World.
No,
I'm all right. Not fair though. Looks like a good band.
There you go.
Okay. So was that Lost Alone? Do you say?
Yeah. Lost Alone.
And it's Lost Alone on Christmas.
Lost Alone on Christmas. Excellent. They're locked in then for future generations to enjoy.
Right.
Amazing.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for joining us. I've got one final question other than the ones I've asked, and that's I've noticed that you like to play a few tricks on radios and podcasts when you've been on them. So what words or things if we had to try and get into this one?
We should have done that. We didn't do that this time. It'd be nice, yeah.
I've been trying to guess all the way through the record. I'm going, is that a word?
In one direction.
No, it would have been good. If we had all three of us here, maybe we'd do it. But
That was quite a spur of the moment.
I literally thought about it on the way to the couple. I know what we'll do. Because we're all just talking in the car anyway. But let's just try and think, let's try and fit a word in that you'd never think you'd say. So I had, what did I have?
Was it Cinderella? Cinderella and ostrich, wasn't it? On one of them.
Cinderella, ostrich, and parachute.
Yeah, I had ostrich, and I couldn't. The problem with that interview is that it was so
Quick.
It was so quick.
It would be easy for this because we've been talking for quite a
Yeah,
while.
this would have been a good time to do it, but I was prepared. I was going to say something like, we've made an ostrich-sized egg of an album or something like that.
I think I said that the Bristol gig was our Cinderella's ball.
Yeah, that's what he said.
And then Chrissy said, we're going to parachute down to Bristol, is what he said.
From Glasgow, yeah.
There was that during, I think it was Euro '96 when all the England players had to do it, didn't they? And they were saying names of songs in interviews, and each time they had a bet going on, and obviously the journalist caught on. I think it was they caught Alan Shearer, and he was the one that they confronted on the thing, and they said, we hear you've been putting name titles of songs into all your lyrics and that, and he just went, well, it's not unusual, is it? Just straight
That is me.
That's a bit of us. That's a bit of us. We would do that.
So what's next? You've got your gig on the 1st of June. You mentioned.
Yeah, well,
right.
1st of June with a band called Super Love.
Yeah.
At the Exchange. It's confirmed. We're just not.
I like to think that it's been announced by the time this goes out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you release this soon, you'll have the scoop. It's not been announced yet, but
okay.
It's in literally 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm guessing they're going to announce it next week. But yeah, Super Live on the 1st of June, Exchange in Bristol. That should be really good because the new album is just coming out. It's coming out the next day, so it should be a busy one.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to be touring in September. Yeah. Around the UK, well, around the south of the UK, the southwest of the UK, and
somewhere else,
a separate country we have to get a ferry to.
Mm-hmm.
And then
we don't know what we're going to do for the rest of the year. We're just going to see what happens.
Probably get some sort of support thing in Bristol,
book some fun gigs dotted around. I think, yeah.
Hopefully got some festivals next year.
Write some bangers.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Excellent. Well, thank you for giving up your time and joining us on the Heart Shaped Box podcast. I look forward to seeing you guys develop and seeing how the next album comes along.
Yeah. Stream our album, please. Dawn Chorus is the name.
Yes, please do.
We're on all of the things.
Yeah.
Dawn Chorus. Thank you.
Cheers, gents. Have a good evening.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having us.
See you soon.
Yeah.
Mate.
Yeah.